Okay.
What up, Tej?
What up, dude?
Today, we get to talk about, should you strengthen your grip in your golf swing? I think this was last night.
Yeah.
You sent me a text. You go, let's talk about this.
Uh-huh.
Can you fill in the folks on what it is that you want to talk about, you crazy man?
Yeah. When I was first taught a lot of things in golf and a lot of things I read in books and whatnot, right? They classify a strong grip as essentially a lead hand that's rotated over this way,
So pronated. Yep.
and a trail hand that would be, matching the lead hand, so supinated a little bit, okay? And I see a lot of people. I even played with a guy yesterday, played with a guy at Common Ground, who hopefully he doesn't see this video. And I wanted to shout at him, right? Because he's like, I just took a lesson from my pro. He wanted me to strengthen my grip, right? So he started doing this all day, right?
Okay.
So he is very, very excessive in terms of you'd see some cup in the lead hand when he's up here at address.
Yep.
See a lot of knuckles on this lead hand. You see this trail hand really rotated under. Okay. I think it's a misunderstanding when it comes to what grip strength actually is. I think somewhere in the past it got lost in translation. I see really, really good players. They have strong grips, meaning that they have anatomically strong grips. They're able to grip the golf club in ways that support the strongest orientation of their joints.
Are you talking about pressure in strength, or are you talking about joint configuration?
Both.
Okay.
Both joint configuration and pressure. So, there's this other idea. I think I heard this from Sam Snead back in the day, right? He's like, okay, hold this thing like a baby bird, right? Don't grip it hard enough that you're going to squeeze the life out of the bird.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's not my experience, at least, right? So, when I get my hands on there appropriately, and I feel appropriate pressure in between both of the hands in the right areas, I feel like I'm going to probably squeeze the life out of a bird a little bit. Okay.
So let's grade that. So on a 1 to 10, so 1 is you're barely holding onto the club, and a 10 is as much pressure as you can put on the handle.
Yeah.
Where you live.
I'm thinking this is more in 6-7 range. What I'm playing with is the idea that you've got to have tension in certain areas, right? And people think of tension as this dirty word, I don't want any tension in my golf swing. Well, you gotta have tension appropriate enough where you can hold this golf club and control the club face through the impact zone. So when it comes to club face stability, this guy had a nightmare of club face stability yesterday, because he's got his hands on there like this, and he's also got the unconscious idea that I'm not supposed to grip it too hard.
So it's gonna flash.
It's gonna flash like crazy, right? So every once in a while you time that up appropriately, and you're like, wow, this is actually something. But then 9 out of 10 shots, it's going 2 different directions, right? So I think that's just a misunderstanding.
But a strong grip, like you just described, is a lead hand, wrist,
Yes.
that is pronated,
Yes.
and a trail wrist that is supinated.
Yes.
So it's funny that we call both of those things strong. The opposite of that, supinated to the lead and pronated to the trail, would be considered a weak grip.
Correct.
But you can have a fairly strong lead hand and an opposing weak trail hand and
Absolutely.
be balanced and neutral,
Absolutely.
or vice versa. However, what you're talking about just in this neutral space for joints. The text that I got from you yesterday was super awesome, because I can't remember exactly how you worded it, Tej, but in essence, we want to talk about how strength of grip is not necessarily a bad thing.
No, absolutely.
When we're classifying it in our terms of strength.
There you go.
Okay.
And I feel like that would be anatomically
Exactly.
strong. That video we did very recently on main system of the golf swing.
Yes.
So all in here, upper arms, right? We're not doing much with the hands, right? So, in my eyes, you're to anatomically strengthen the grip.
Yep.
You're also using the whole basically main system to kind of compress.
It's all one thing.
It's all one thing, right?
Yeah. Let's take some video and shoot this maybe from down the line, but we'll also take some video face on so we can see kind of the state of the hands and what they're just generally looking like.
Okay.
Okay. And what I'd like to see from a lot of players, for the most part, is a hand system that's a little bit higher, which makes TJ go into more UD here.
Got it.
Both hands.
Got it.
Okay, so UD is this way. and also have the handle work up almost in front of the player's lead thigh. What that does is it gets the shaft and the lead arm on plane, if you will, but it also creates more extension in this trail wrist, which is really nice for feeling pressure direction. Like if you put pressure, hold this up just a little bit, and just pressure the shaft into my hand. Feel all that? There's the pressure.
Absolutely.
So now we're gonna have some amount of that feel just at address. So if you sat there and felt that same little bit of pressure in here, it almost sets you up for where you're gonna pressurize the golf ball in the hit.
Absolutely. So it kind of presets impact just a little bit.
Just a little bit, exactly. Let's just hit one from right there.
Okay.
Just looks nice.
Yeah.
So is there the sense athletically, just the sensation that like above it you can almost feel what impact's gonna, like the hit's gonna feel like with
Yes.
that?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I think is important. I mean, you know, there's only so much room you have for like thoughts, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like I think it's really important to have this like sense of what the strike's gonna feel like, and then you just kind of let your body organize.
Yeah, we need some amount of lizard mode.
Yeah, yeah.
Like reptile brain mode.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of like, okay, I got these 7 different things that I need to organize that are like highly cognitive.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
you'll
hard.
see people just stand above it and like walk out. They're like, dude, it's just, you can't
Or you know, I
organize
see
it
this one
enough.
a lot where people can organize all those things in their net,
Yeah.
and they get really good at really heady stuff. Like I can do all these 7 things and hit a ball flush into my net, and then they get out here on the golf course and there's all these other things they have to consider.
Yes.
You don't have the mental brain power to do it.
To see this, let's do this in front of the camera,
Sure.
Tej, from right here. So show just like an over exaggeration of the gentleman's name that you grip that you played with yesterday. Good. Now, when you see this in that same headspace that we were talking about just now, of like, okay, I can feel the strike. It is incredibly difficult to feel the hit that you want, but you will darn well feel the face being able to flash through here. So yeah, so you can feel rope hook right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like if I wanted to rope hook one, I might even set up that way a little bit.
you may do it. If you got to move it 40 yards in the air
Yeah.
and blinker mode it,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So when we're set up above it and gripping it here, you'll see how much flexion state we have in this right wrist.
Yes.
To be able to supinate that heavily and grab onto the stick.
Yes.
So when I'm here, there is no pressure at all. It's just
can't.
in this webbing,
Yeah.
right? That's like, this is what we're pressuring. And
Yeah.
you'll also feel like you can just rotate that up over the shaft.
Yeah.
So you'll feel how the golf club can just flash.
Right. Which,
Right.
I mean, if you've had trouble slicing the golf ball, I mean, it's a way to at least feel an opposite orientation, but I don't think
Get
it's
your duct tape out.
That's
right?
exactly
That's
right.
the problem
Yeah,
with
yeah.
it, is it's not necessarily the right way to go about
It's
it. Well,
not, no.
Not that it's wrong. You can hit good golf shots that way. It's just
I agree.
the oftenness
Yeah.
of it. Okay, so let's do that again, Tej. Right there, it's set up. Excellent. So show where if the handle were just kind of right underneath your midline, it'd be back a little bit. So that's not radial, but it's more in a radial sphere. So first thing is we're just going to pop that up towards the camera. You can see how the hands now go into UD. And then now if the handle goes forward, I love that look because we got more extension here. You can feel that pressure in the trail hand.
Yep.
But the lead arm and shaft are all on one plane as well.
Right.
Yep. So now same thing, stay dropped in, put pressure on the ball. Oh. Feel how nice the golf club unloads there?
Yeah.
Did you just make it? I mean, that was good.
That's pretty good.
That was so dimey. Okay. So, and by the way, when I'm saying put pressure on the ball, let's go ahead and set up one more time, Tej. And let's just hover it just a foot or so above the ground. So right in here, like once Tej is set up, which is really nice, you see how similar that setup is, even though we're hovering it compared to the last shot. If you put pressure here on both of my hands equally, there,
Oh, I see.
There we go.
So not here
Exactly.
and not there.
Exactly. We're pressuring the entire instrument forward. That's the strike feel. Feel that?
That's a good feel. That's like
Yes.
even pressure.
Yes, even pressure. So once you get into delivery, so go ahead and go into like to piece 6-ish, right in there's good. Okay, now how, and again above the ball, but how would you put pressure on that like pressure wall that I always create? There it goes. See how the center of mass of the club goes? But all of this is unloaded, and that's usually felt for most players kind of in that trail hand to feel that hit. Stay dropped in, put pressure on the ball, flushed out.
This is a little fat, but not bad.
A little fat. Okay, let's hit one more.
Actually went further, so maybe it wasn't that fat.
Took the spin off of it. Nice. Okay, so let's do that. And the nice thing is like, we just brought this up earlier. You don't need to go, okay, what's the math equation on why I hit it fat?
Yeah.
No, there's no awareness. It's an objective response. It's great. Okay, hit it fat. Now, just know, just generally where you're putting pressure on the golf ball, right? And through that hit, and you'll be just fine. There's not this big cognitive description that you have to have. It's just getting into setup properly, know the pressure, sense that pressure, stay dropped in and flush. Beautiful, beautiful strike.
Now we're getting warmed up.
Yeah, that's such a good ball right there. Excellent. Okay, so wrapping this up, I mean, really, we just need to change some of the language, I think, is just defining what strength in grip is. What we want is to find strength, joint strength, human strength, in the opposing of each arm.
Yes.
Right? Like if the lead arm is internally rotated, well, the trail should be internally rotated. But our favorite and most preferred grips are more the internal state and pronated state to get the hands on there. It just feels so much stronger. And then just getting the hand more in a UD shape with a little bit of lean in the shaft. You'll see that in TJ's grip, like even from there, like see that state of extension. There's a small amount of like extension or cupping there in that trail hand. That's a really strong place to play golf from. You can really feel the pressure on the golf ball.
Absolutely.
Kind of fun.
Yeah, real fun.
Okay, ask questions. There's a lot of stuff in there. I mean, just the wrist complex alone has several bones, let alone your digits. Then we're talking like elbows, and like the shoulder complex is crazy too. So all that stuff affects the strength of your grip. Comment, we'd love to chat with you.